Like I barely made it to the bathroom, and my white shirt was destroyed.
That's hilarious.
I
Never
love
again.
that. So what did you do? Did you take your shirt off and just get back in the car and go home? Or like, did you offer to clean it up? Like, what happened?
No, I wasn't cleaning that up. I
They
was
clean up a
leaving.
lot worse than
Kidding?
that, anyway.
Are you kidding? Yeah, probably.
I was like, don't clean it up. They have people there to clean. They clean up the deposits in the
Jizz.
back. They can clean that vomit up. So I get in my car. He jumps in and he's laughing at me, and I think I ended. I don't know how I got home. I just remember passing out at his house. And that's the last remember of that
That's
night.
insane. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that
So
was
now
back in
this begs the
age.
question: have you all had more embarrassing things happen or things that you've said during sex? Like, I mean, because that pretty much touches on part of the second question, which was, have you said anything or done anything embarrassing in the bedroom?
The
I
whole
already said something
accident.
I'd done, but what about what I
Yeah.
Yeah.
said? What about
Yeah,
you,
so
David?
that's pretty much it. I can't think of any. But see, if I keep on saying stuff, that everybody's going to think that David from the 5 by 5 is some kind of internet whore.
Yeah,
And I,
he gives you the name of his show so you can follow him over there so you know where to find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
oh well, it's not like we don't say it. I say it on
No,
the
I'm
intro.
just joking. I'm just
Silly
joking.
boys.
No,
But
I don't think. I mean, in bed. I mean, I've called out the wrong name before, which was embarrassing. One time, I had been in a long term relationship and I'd gotten out of it, and or it ended or whatever. And then I'd been with another guy a few weeks later, the first time in a long time, and I called out my ex's name, and so I think I didn't really care that much because we hadn't been together very long. But that's about it. I mean, I can't think of anything I've ever said that embarrassed me in bed. No. What about
Well,
you?
I can say that I have never really said anything embarrassing in bed, but a lot of really weird stuff has been said to me.
Mm-hmm.
such as,
That's
Such
waiting with
as,
bated
so-
ears.
I mean, so the one said, "Did you have a brother? Tell me about your brother." I'm like, I'm the youngest of mostly girls. I'm the only boy. And then he kept pursuing it. Well, why don't you tell me you had a brother? And I'm like, what is with you in that? Why are you continuing to talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
And so then he says that he and his brother had fooled around. And I'm like, this is becoming
Oh, it's an
like,
incestuous thing, huh?
well,
Okay.
yeah, but they were like one had there had been like a divorce and they had separate parents and this other like he it still unsets me. It's very unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I once had someone say that okay, I was dating a painter from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like 16, and I had I don't know he lived in a really small part of a small town back home. And he was really kind of wonderful. Like he played Sarah McLachlan. He felt intensely about stuff. We smoked funny cigarettes and all that jazz, and everything was really wonderful. Like once he painted me as I was lying in bed naked. Like that kind of you're 16 years old. That's like cognac or something. It's wonderful. And I feel these wonderful things about him. And then he says, "I wish I could rip your head off and lay eggs inside your body."
Oh my God, my head will never be the same. Oh my God. Oh my God,
what?
I'll never recover from that. I didn't expect that. Oh my God.
Neither did
Oh
I.
my God, I
I'm
would have. Oh my
mortified.
God, no, seriously, you're about to blow my mind. Oh my God, I can't. I can't even. I can't even. I can't comprehend it. Can I have to step away? Oh my God. Oh my God, that is so wrong.
So I would like to just make a
Oh.
point that Donovan's okay with poop
Oh
sex
my
talk,
God.
but he can't handle
No, this thing about insects in the brain that just. Oh, and the fact he
That's
said this to you like it
hilarious.
was supposed to be seductive. Oh my God, this
yes.
is weird.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Was his name Dexter?
No, it was not.
Curious.
It was not. So here I was up in the head of absolutely no place. Now, when I say something like that, you both know that that means something. Like I was up in the head of no place, no way of leaving. It was very uncomfortable. And I think I said something like, "Oh, how sweet," or something like that. And I carried on and like a soldier, and I immediately changed my perspective. Of course, that whole situation did, and we gradually fell apart. not so gradually.
Serial killer.
Terrifying. That was pretty terrible.
Wow.
And I have one worse than that. That is just, I mean, but I can't even say it out loud. Like it's disturbing to me. So I had wondered if anything like that had happened to either of you.
No, I think I have
just-
a better. I think I have a. I'm not saying this to be like mean, but I think I have a better instinct about people. I don't know. It's like maybe you're attracted to crazy people. I don't know. But the guy that oh my god. I mean, when you first met him though, did he give you any indication that he was like a little off, or just that's the only thing?
No.
But the thing is, I think you probably were looking at him out of 16-year-old eyes, and maybe you didn't have the enough life experiences to say, "Oh, he's crazy. I can't mess with him."
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
maybe
no,
that's what
he
it
didn't.
was?
He didn't even look that way. He looked like I don't know. I don't know. He looked normal. He looked totally normal.
They always
and he
do,
was
usually.
and he was from New York, so I thought that he was even better than he really was.
Well, that
And
explains it.
well, I mean, when you grow up in a place like Capel Holler, you meet a painter from New York,
Yeah.
and you're 16 years old. You think, well, this, I've really done it. I've really hit the jackpot.
And then he tries to
And
rip your head off, and
Then he
lay
tells
eggs
you he
in it.
wants to lay eggs inside your body, like it's Sigourney Weaver movie or something.
Just the
Okay.
visual. See, anytime anybody says anything, I visualize. I'm a visual person, so the visual is literally making me ill. Oh my god.
That is
Yeah, it was pretty
crazy.
terrible. It was
Well,
pretty.
have you ever had like somebody that sexually they were different than what you expected?
Okay,
You know-
yes. Let me say something about that because I have something to say about it. I don't know why it is, but when I was dating, the majority of the time I was dating and stuff, when guys that I would meet that I thought were tops were bottoms. And every guy I thought was a bottom was a top. What the fuck was that about? Why is it that is that just me, or is like most tops that I've encountered and have been with and whatever are generally more masculine than effeminate? You know what I mean? And
Normally,
just
yeah.
normally, not always, but normally, and vice versa, generally speaking. And so, oftentimes, that's kind of an indicator. It's not always an indicator, obviously. It's
No.
kind of a stereotype. But so every time I would meet a guy, and not every time, I'd say probably 80% of the time, I'd meet a guy. Like one guy I met. Okay, we had this huge chemistry. This chemistry was like so palpable. It was like that kind of chemistry. Just like, oh my god, I just want to rip his clothes off. And he was 6'6" and just totally my type completely, and I was totally his type, and we're totally in each other, and we had dinner and everything else the first night, and he wanted to have sex the first night, and I said no, and just kissed him goodbye. And then he invited me over for the weekend, and so I just knew he was a top, and I was going to be, and I'm versatile, as you know, so I could go either way. So I just knew he was a top, and I was expecting, and that's how I was attracted to him in that manner. And so then we're watching this movie and in his apartment, and we're on the sofa and we're rolling around, whatever. And then we get into bed eventually. He's like, and he rolls his big ass, huge muscular self over on the bottom and says, "Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, daddy, fuck me, dude." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I literally started cracking up. I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I thought you were a top." No, I want your big, Anyway, I'm not going to go into what he said, but anyway, so he went on, and so it was just so disappointing, and so. I don't know if you're that way, but it's like for me, I couldn't be attracted to him in any other way. I mean,
Because you had a different the chemistry was on what you
Exactly.
thought he was instead of what he ended up being.
Exactly.
That'd have turned me off. Like, but I told you this 1,000 times. In Atlanta, you go to like some of the more ethnic clubs where everybody have their Timbs and hoodies and you're like, oh, these are awesome. Those straight thugs up in here. Get them home. There's Tim footprints on the ceiling.
yeah, I know. Exactly.
I'm like, y'all need to stop tricking people in the bar
and
because
it's not that I didn't. I mean, we did it. We ended up having sex. I ended up doing what he wanted me to do, and I enjoyed it. It was fine. But my point just is that it wasn't what I anticipated or expected. And like you said, the chemistry that I thought we had was in a different
based
way.
on some
Exactly. And so that's just disappointing. But anyway, what's your
It
story?
is.
So-
Well, me,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear this one. I'm very excited.
This is back in the 90s. Like, I did a lot of dirt in the 90s,
Back in the 90s.
late 90s.
Mhm.
I'd start. There's a time that I dated like real, not old man, but like men that I dated a doctor that was like 20 years older than me, and I dated another guy like 30 years older than me. It was kind of crazy. I don't know what I was doing, but anyhow, this he was an older man. He had a lot of gray hair, but he had a nice body. He was, very fit, and he was attractive to me, and so we dated. And then we finally made the decision that we're going to, well, let's go ahead and see where this leads sexually. And so we get to the bedroom, and so. And sometimes you're still kind of feeling people out. You don't know everything you should know about them when you end up at the bedroom, even though you should. But sometimes you go to the bedroom to get it done with to see. Because me, if the sex is not good, there's no reason for me to pursue this relationship. Because it'll make me hate you. Anyhow, and so we're doing whatever, and so he's reaching under the bed. I'm like, is this man ready to kill me or shoot me or something? Because he's reaching under his bed. I'm like, all right, he's gonna throw handcuffs me or something. He pulls out a paddle. He's like, I want you to hit me. And I'm like, for me, I think to me that's weird. I know it's not weird for other people, and I'm not keen on hitting people. And so I was like, tap. he's like.
I
no.
love that. Tap.
He's like, no. And I'm like, tap, tap. And he's like, and then he's getting mad because I'm not hitting him. And so after the fourth or fifth time he said him, I beat the hell out of that man. I'm like, yeah. But it was so bizarre. And the thing is, that's what he needed sexually. And that's something like me, because I'm kind of vanilla and everything. I couldn't do that, and it actually ended up meeting somebody, and we were still friends. But after I moved away, I never seen him again. But somebody who was into that kind of bondage what's it called, S&M thing?
Well, that's not S&M as much as it is
masochism, sadomasochism.
Well, I guess it's masochistic. Yeah, I guess it's masochism. Yeah.
And I heard they used to beat each other's ass all the time and enjoyed it. So it just wasn't for this girl.
Well, you've got to have your limits. You've got to have lines drawn, what you will and will not do.
Yeah, there's a lot I won't do.
And that's a fetish. That's not so much. I mean, that's what that is a fetish. And some people can only get off if they do certain things or a certain way. Like some people have a fetish for leather. And when I say fetish, I don't mean you think it's hot. I mean fetish as in the only way you can have sex with another guy is if you're in leather gear, or if you're being spanked or whatever. Or
if somebody's got like a tub of Crisco or something.
In a fist. Anyway.
And this
which is not for me, by the way. But anyway, if you can only get off with those certain requirements or a certain requirement, then that's considered a fetish. So that's what this guy apparently had as a fetish. That's probably why he got mad at you, because he couldn't get off otherwise.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted to do. I'm like, and I did it, but I didn't do it right, of course.
Yeah, but I've always been. Well, go ahead. Wait, let's hear what Ken has to say first.
Well, mine's not so like somebody's sexually. Mine turned out just okay. I was at a bar downtown some time ago, and this is back when I drank, and I was drinking and smoking cigarettes, and I was kind of watching this kid. He was like really attractive, very Abercrombie, which was something I thought I was into for a minute. And I had like this hat to the side. Very cute, and looked like he had lived rough, and he was ready to make good on his life. So just the right time for me to jump in, right? So I kind of stalk him, not weird in a weird way, but like throughout the night, I kept my eye kind of where he was, because I knew at the end of the night that's how that would pan out. He and I would go off together. And so we get to the end of the night, and we're all kind of separating with bars closed. And I go up to him, I'm like, look, are you and I going to do this? And he turned around and he said, I'm a lesbian.
What? Are you kidding me?
I had been all over this lesbian all night.
This is so funny. What's going on?
I had put in so much effort. I gave her a cigarette.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Like her voice was deeper than David's almost. It was
what?
I mean, she was not like an Ellen kind of lesbian. She was like a hardcore duct tape she was like a Duck Dynasty lesbian. I had no idea. I had no idea. So that was kind of embarrassing. But then out of heartbreak, I went over and said to this guy, was like, hey, what's your name? He's like, my name's Dan. I'm like, okay, Dan the man, let's go. And he takes me to his, he takes